You had the opportunity to see updates and read them, but now here's your chance to see a little video instead. As you know, I flew up to Broome, Western Australia, which was a wonderful little place, surprisingly green, super hot and humid, and we jumped right in. So Keely, Jen, and I were there for the initial couple weeks and started with picking up our translator team. And some of them arrived on Greyhound, others on flights. And after getting them settled into the Aboriginal short stay, which was a beautiful facility, now you get to meet the team. You might have seen interviews earlier, the little videos I made, but here's Peter Brandy. And then next up we have Judy Butters, who was the translation advisor. After Judy, then we have Lizzie Jingle, who is also a translation advisor. And then Uncle Rodney, who worked as a translator. He's in the upper right corner there in the picture. Now, Mary Spinks was a back translator, and then Carl Gross was our consultant who did the final checks on scriptures. None of this would have happened without our incredible support crew. They were a team from Perth as well who went up and did everything from food, hospitality, and a tremendous amount of transportation for us. Now, jumping into the translation process is a big task to tackle, and it begins with internalization. This is where you really get familiar with the scriptures and get it deep inside so it can be repeated out and then translated. My favorite tool for this is called storyboarding. As you can see, there's pictures and you draw them as you listen and you use them to then retell the story as you go. After this, the next step is actual translation, and this proved to be the longest and an incredibly challenging one, as I'm sure you can guess, but incredibly rewarding. On the weekends, we would also go to the different churches. This is People's Church, and it was really important because it helped us to stay connected with the community. Here you see a picture of Mary and I going out, and we were seeking people who would listen to the translations and respond if this is their language, are these the words that they use. And this step is called the community check. We did several community checks. This one is here in Broome. And then we went on a road trip the next day, and it was a long day of driving, 9 hours total, to get to another area of the community where there's the local speakers of Kimberly Kriol who use it every single day. So we got set up in the yard, thankful for all the trees and the shade, and then these women worked with us listening to the recordings and responding on the word choices that were used, if it was natural sounding and if it's the words that they would have used. It was a really helpful process, and after working with them, we had a lot of feedback to then drive back to Broome and start making all the edits and changes with. The drive was long, we were all tired, but it was absolutely beautiful. We had to keep an eye out for kangaroos and for cattle, and we also looked out for salties in the water, little crocs. Getting back to Broome then, the process was really how to refine these translations, make the edits that were given by the community, and what ended up happening is we listened to the recordings and had to make a transcript of it. So this means writing out a new language, a language that I don't know, and listening over and over again. So yes, I had a massive headache by the time we were done, but it was incredibly worth it. And the result of this is that the changes were made and re-recorded, and you can see in this piece of the software that sets in backtail translate, which means then it was Mary's turn, and she would listen to the recordings in Kimberly Kriol and translate it back into English. This is a really long process, but it's incredibly critical because then Carl, who is the consultant, can then hear the translation in English and then check it for accuracy. And his role is then those final stamps of approval and really making sure that it is accurate and understandable scripture, true to the original language and the meaning of the Bible. So at the end of all of this, it was a massive workshop. It was miraculous and completed. And here's a video you can also watch of the playing of the final recordings.
Followers. We gotta go another side of that lake. Even go in like that boat, back. They even start moving in like that water. And even go sleep now. Wind and wave and get up. Really rough one. Water been building up that boat, back. They've been singing. Proper pride and wave. Jesus, Master, Master, wake up, we gotta die. Jesus can stand up and tell them that wind and wave, plus stop quiet and everything can sit down quiet for now. Jesus can look loud about and even talk, what wrong you move, never believe. They've been heart jump, shocked and shaken. And they been asking one another, oh, the young man, him talk, la win and wave, la stop quiet, and they been listening like him. Jesus and him closer followers, they been come out there, another side, straight across from Galilee country to Kerosene country. When they been come out there, Jesus would meet him one well a man from that town, got him all up double spirit inside like him. They would make him but trouble mad one for a long time. For a long time he been walking around, naked one. He never go back like him camp. He been stopping about that cave where that lot dead well people been buried. They been time of him got him chained, that madman, because he been having but all up double inside like him body. They been grab him and force him like make him walk away like bush desert country. Jesus been tell him all the devil like come out from him. That madman been pulled down front like Jesus and he been sing out, Jesus, son, blah, probably I want God what you want him from me. Don't punish me. Jesus been asking him, what your name? He been say, Mibala, big mob, because a lot of devil been inside like him. That devil been say like Jesus, don't send him Mibala, like that deep one dark place. Big mob, biggie been feeding about there, one side like that hill not far. That lot devil been asking Jesus, send Mibala, like that piggy. Jesus will let them go, them inside like them. When that lot devil been get in like that, all a piggy, they been rush flat out downhill, straight in like water and drowned. When that lot man been mad about all that lot piggy, they been take off straight back like town and country. They been tell them, everybody what been happen. Big more people been coming, but look what been happen. They been finding that man sitting down like Jesus' foot. He been sitting down, got him clothes on, got him good one mind right way. And then now, all the people been really frightened. That lot who been see what been happen. They been tell them all the people how Jesus been make him good well one that madman. And all the people from that country, they been be proper frightened one. And all the people been tell him Jesus, like go back like your own country. Well, that man been asking Jesus, me want to go back at him you. Jesus been telling him, now you gotta go back like your town and camp and tell them all your people what God been do by you, and even tell them about all the people what good will I think Jesus been do by him. Jesus and him closer followers, they been get in like that boat and go back like country. Jesus and him closer followers, another side like that lake. When they been get there, all the people been waiting about like Jesus, like welcome him. He been get up from that boat and start walking. One man named Jairus, headman by that Jewish meeting place, been meeting him there and been pulled down front like Jesus. He been sing out, Jesus, Jesus, come lang a man camp. Quick now man 12-year-old daughter, him gotta pass away now. Jesus would say, all right, we keep on walking. In that came over people, one of a woman been probably sick while there, walking. And even having sickness for 12 years. And even all they lose him, blood. Even go la this one doctor and even go la that doctor and even tell him everything like him and pay him that doctor. But still, they never help him. But when they been walking along, even behind, that Jesus even touch him, that close flung Jesus. And straight away that woman been good now. Jesus been stop and even say, open that Jimmy. All the people been there and they've been say, maybe I'll never touch you. Peter been say, Master, all the people been touching you from everywhere when you've been walking here. But Jesus been say, I know somebody been touching me because I've been feeling mind power of the healing been come out from me. When Jesus been turn around now, he been find him that woman standing up there and he been shaking, probably frightened away and pulled down front like Jesus. And even tell him Jesus, front like everybody why even touch him and how even we make him good bala. And Jesus can say like my daughter, because you won't believe like me, you good one now. You can keep going now.
When Jesus been keep on talking along that woman, one working man, like Jairus been come out there. He been say like Jairus, don't humbug but the master. That girl been passed away already. Jesus been hearing that word when they've been talking. Jesus been say like Jairus, don't be frightened now, only believe. That girl bling you gotta get up, good one. Well, they been keep going now like Jairus camp. When they been get there, all the people there been crying about for that young girl. And Jesus been saying all about, what for you will crying blah? That young girl never passed away, him only sleeping. But they been laughed because they been know that young girl been passed away. Well, Jesus been taking Peter, James and John, and that mommy and daddy belong to that young girl, and they've been going in that room. But Jesus been hunting them out all of not let people. They been put them all about outside. And when they've been going in that room, Jesus been holding that young girl a hand. He been sing out, wake up my girl. That girl been get up straight away, and that mommy and daddy been heart jump. And Jesus been say, give him that young girl tugger now. When him finish eating that tugger, Jesus been say all about, don't tell him anybody blah what been happening here today.